Well, we're back with this episode of the Automotive High Performance Engine Build for the Engine Masters competition. We've been waiting a couple weeks on getting some of our parts in, and they've arrived. This is behind me is a couple dollars worth of items that we're going to be using in this engine. And over the next course of the next few episodes, you'll see this pile get smaller and smaller as we install each one of these components into our engine. So it's been a little bit waiting on it, and everything's here that we can actually get to work. So let's get on to the next thing. Well, if you remember last time, we disassembled our engine, took it all apart. It was pretty dirty, and what we did was once we got everything, all the core plugs and everything off the block, we put it in this machine behind me, which was our thermal oven. Cooked the engine for about 45 to 50 minutes at 650 to 700 degrees. Then we moved it over here to our stainless shop machine, and we'll see what it looks like. And as you can see, we'll get it over here on the bench so it's better to look at. But basically this looks like a brand new piece of cast iron. So let's get it out of here and see what it looks like. What I'm doing here is I'm actually cleaning the brand new hardware that we have for this project. When these components come in, they actually come in with an anti-corrosive agent on them, some sort of thick oil or grease or whatever. And we want to make sure that we clean all that off before we actually start our process here of bolting the main caps on the block. What we're going to do now is we use AERA, Automotive Engine Rebuilder Association, Process Pro software, which actually gives us blueprint specifications for what the factory actually built the engine at. And we're going to use that kind of as a baseline for the information that we'll use in blueprinting our engine. So what I'm going to do is I got the engine pulled up here, and I just select what engine it is, and then it gives me all of the specifications for the engine block that you could need, like for size of engine bore, our main bearing bore specifications, which we're getting ready to do. And I'll print this off and we'll take it over here, and Jim will get the gauge set up and we'll get into our machining operations. Okay, what we're going to do now is we have this Sunnon dial bore gauge setup tool, which is basically a really big precision micrometer, and we're going to set up our gauge so that we can do the preliminary measurement on our main housing bores in our 5.0 block. What AERA or Process Pro says it should be is 2.4412 to 2.4420 inches. We're going to go ahead and set the dial bore gauge up for the maximum diameter. And the reason we do that is because we know from experience that when we install our brand new main bearings and we torque everything down and do the measurement, that kind of gives us maybe a little bit more oil clearance to where we wouldn't have to select a special bearing to get that oil clearance. Okay, now we're over here at the cap grinder, and what we're going to do is on our main cap, we have to actually grind material off of where the cap faces into the block. We actually take some material off of this. If you think about it, that makes the circle smaller, so we can go in and remachine it. Okay, we've got our caps clipped. Make those circles a little smaller so we can hone the material out. What Jim's doing right now is he's actually setting up the align hone mandrel. As soon as he gets that set up, we will reinstall the main girdle and torque everything down again. We'll remeasure, and then we'll begin align honing. All right, well that's going to finish up this episode of our Engine Masters project. We've got our align hone finished. We got it right set where we want to. When we come in next time, we're going to set up the surface machine. We're going to square and deck the block, and we'll also bore it out, rough bore it for the cylinder hone machine. So we're well on our way to getting this project going. So thanks for joining us.